I have been waiting for issue 3 of this for a couple of months now. I'm excited. It definitely did not disappoint. Let's get right into it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another rapid review. As you heard at the top, this is an issue I could not wait to get in, and when I did get it, I immediately read it, and I am excited to talk to you guys about it. It is Reactive Weaponized Armor number 3, written by Will G and art by Frost Yamzan. Again, please let me know if I'm pronouncing Frost's last name correctly. If I didn't, I really want to make sure I get it right because this series is awesome. I have a feeling that I'll be talking about it more going forward. So yeah, just really want to give him the respect he deserves to get his name right. That said, Frost, dude, your art is awesome. So with that said, let's jump right into the review itself. So issue 3 opens up literally right where issue 1 ends. And for anyone who wants to know what happened in the first 2 issues, I'll leave a link down in the description for the review I did for issues 1 and 2 in the same video, because Will was awesome enough to give us a shot at reading them, and I had to buy them. So I mean, I got them here, and he signed them, which was totally cool. But that is a story for another time. But yeah, so link will be down below for you to hear the review for 1 and 2, so you're not completely lost as to what's going on. That said, let me give you a little bit of a brief rundown. Issues 1 and 2 basically took place simultaneously, but they were from 2 different viewpoints. The first viewpoint is from the team who have the armor, the reactive weaponized armor, and then issue 2 is from the alien that they're trying to find, Zorn's point of view and what's going on with him. So issue 3 comes back, and we are dealing with the aftermath of the fight between Brooke and Kaliska. Basically, Donnie had done something to kind of knock him out, and that's how that issue ended. And we're here now with the two of them are just like, really? God, Donnie, did you have to do that? And he's like, yes, I did. The two of you were going to kill each other. You needed help. So that's where we're at. And basically, Kaliska and Brooke are still really, really pissed off. Mainly Kaliska. She's the one who's got vengeance and revenge on the mind. She thinks Brooke killed her boyfriend Remy, and that she just will not let this go until she basically gets Brooke's head. So the whole team, Kiev, Diablo, and Donnie, are trying to get this to de-escalate. They're like, we're going to squash this right now, and Donnie just happens to say the wrong thing. He goes, we're going to squash this nonsense about Remy right now, and that fires Kaliska right up into powering back up into her armor. You could literally see this really awesome panel of the entire team going, oh god, you're just kind of still frames like that. It's like, idiot, we were so close. And then she just is about ready to go. Well, what comes after this is something I certainly didn't see coming, but Brooke basically is like had enough, and she seemingly blacks out, and she powers up to a level that nobody has seen. Everybody on the team is literally looking at it like, this is new, what is going on? And it's this epic, like, big power up into her armor changes. Like, it's almost a full mask. She looks sick as hell. And what happens during this whole thing, as far as like the panels and the art, Frost, dude, the next, I want to say, probably 3 or 4 pages are some of the most insane art that I have seen, because Brooke literally went nuts. It's just big energy blasts, huge impacts, sound effects, you name it. It was epic, and they really made you feel the force of this fight coming off the page. And I gotta congratulate the whole team on that one, because I felt that part of the fight. It was awesome. It brought me in. It was engaging. And then it basically ends almost as oddly as it started with Brooke, because she basically just ends up, I guess the the armor was a bit too much power-wise, and basically she just passes out and powers down and whatnot. And that basically ends it in a way because Kaliska doesn't want to just kill her, I guess, while she is sleeping. She's like, we'll settle this another time. All in the background of this entire thing behind Brooke and Kaliska, they're trying to formulate a plan to go find Zorn, because Donnie is convinced that Zorn will have at least an idea of what's going on as far as the alien invasion that's going on with the city and what's going on with their armor, because apparently they're basically losing the armor, I guess, for lack of a better term. It's like it's malfunctioning, it doesn't power up quite when they need it, et cetera, et cetera. So they're trying to find a way to get to Zorn and figure out a little more about what's actually going on. So this issue, not only having the epic fight scene, this is also a very kind of a history issue. You get history on a few of the characters. It starts with Kaliska. You see her relationship with Remy, and she kind of eventually figures out in this flashback that they show you that apparently whatever happened to Remy is her fault. It happened. And this helps her kind of squash what's going on with Brooke, and she's obviously very emotional when you realize something like this. So the team is trying to comfort her while resting and whatnot. And basically what they decide to do is, because Brooke is still passed out, Donnie, Diablo, and Kaliska are just going to go forward, and Kiev agrees to stay behind until Brooke wakes up. And then they'll go find her, find the rest of the team, catch up with them, etc., etc. So Brooke does wake up, and the next part of the story is a very, very emotional. This was a very emotionally charged book from a lot of different angles. Well, now you get Brooke's history within this. You see basically a memory of her with her dad, and you see her go into a room where her, she's like, Dad, and he's like, Daddy loves you, blah, 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 and he's got a gun in his hand basically like this. And it's just this big emotional tear up, and then boom, he commits suicide. And that kind of explains why Brooke is probably the way she is in terms of being a little cold-hearted in a lot of ways, but also why she does have a big heart because of the tragedy that she has experienced. So despite the fact that her background character-wise is she is kind of an ex-con, she's got a big heart. So you get a little bit of the cold-heartedness, but you also get she does care at the same time. So that really explains the base parts of her character really well. The cool part that I was not expecting with this is Kiev, who is sitting there with her. They're having a very deep conversation while smoking a joint, which I thought that was a nice little touch, because you seem to have fun conversations like that when you're with your friends, really chilling like that. Well, you get a little bit of a background on Kiev as well, who basically talks about how in his country where he comes from, he was a bad dude. He was called upon to kill people, basically just like a assassin for hire type thing. And he talks about how it consumed him, and that was the only thing that he ever wanted to do. And you see these really epic panels of him just machine guns killing people, etc., etc., and then how he was finally able to get through that to become where he is now, where he's very wise, he's very chill and whatnot. He's trying to talk to Brooke about this so that he can get Brooke to work her way through some of her problems as well. And slowly but surely it's working, because Brooke was kind of and a little temperamental at first, but the more Kiev had actually said, the more it started to make sense. She was just like, well, she was like, okay, that makes sense. When did you always got to be right, don't you? And he's like, I have my moments. And basically that is where the issue ends, is with them finishing up this conversation. And like I said, that was a book. This was a book where I went to a lot of places while I was reading it. I got really excited. I had that, of course, when Donnie kind of made that one comment, and I even joined the rest of the team. I was like, ooh, not the right thing to say, bro. And then, of course, I've still got that whole mystery of, you know, wondering where the armor comes from and how that goes. So I'm curious to see if that's something that gets shown in future issues and whatnot. But yeah, this issue was a big step up from issues 1 and 2. And I don't mean that in that issues 1 and 2 were not good, because they were really, really, really good. But they took the story to a whole new level. The art and everything. It's basically like the team hit their stride and boom. Issue 3 came out, and now issue 4 will be coming soon. I can't wait to read that. I'm curious to see if issue 4 will still continue with the main team, or if it will kind of do like issues 1 and 2, where now issue 4 might go back to Zorn's point of view of what's going on with him, and see what's going on with him while this is taking place. So I'm very curious to see what they do, or if they finally just join and it'll be the book covering both at the same time. So I'll be very curious to see that. As I've said a few times already, dude, Frost really nailed the art this time around. The first 2 books were visually wonderful. This book was just awesome. And I think it's, you know, because you had a lot of these action panels, and you know, to be able to show all that, and it's in black, whites, and grays, is amazing. Just that's part of the reason why I think the art is so good, is because of the fact that it's not fully colored in. It's black, whites, grays, and inks, and it looks stunning just like this. And I honestly can't imagine reading the book in full color, because it's so good as it is. And then Will, with the storytelling in this one, you know, and having a talk with him, he said he really just, he found something and hit a stride, and he just is going, and he's really excited about the next, you know, the rest of the series in general. But I agree. I really am excited to see where it goes, and hope that more people get to pick up on this series. And for anyone who wants to purchase issues 1 through 3, they are available. We're going to leave a link in the description below to the website, so that you guys can go check out the issues for yourself. You can get them both digitally and physical copies, which is totally cool, whichever one's more your thing. Will is super good about making sure that they're shipped out really quick and whatnot, and giving tracking info. So definitely check it out. If hopefully, you know, my reviews have enticed you guys to go on, you know, click that link and check them out, because I believe in the series, and definitely cannot wait to read the whole thing, so that I can see where the story goes. Although at the same time, you know, it's one of those where you hope it doesn't end, but you know it has to. I mean, everything's got to end at some point. So I'm very curious to see how many issues the whole series is going to be. Even if I do find out, I'm not going to share with anybody, because what fun would it be in knowing that the end's coming? In fact, I may not ask Will that question, because now, no, I don't want to know. Yeah. So, small side rant there. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Reactive Weaponized Armor issue number 3. Let me know in the comments, have you guys read this series? You know, let me know if you found out about it maybe through the review that we did on issues 1 and 2, or just through another avenue in general. Did you like the book? Where would you like to see the story go? And let's have a friendly discussion about it. Trust me when I say that Will is a very active person on social media, so he'll see comments and he'll read them, and he's excited to know what people think about the book. And frankly, so am I, because I do think the series is that good. If you liked what you saw, as usual, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell so that you get notified anytime we upload a video. Hit that thumbs up, because it really would help us out. And as always, you guys, please stay safe, stay healthy. I'll catch you next time. Later, everyone.